Newcastle 2, Tottenham 2. It's at least a point, but boy, oh boy, what a absolutely just dreadful, putrid. I don't even know what other words I want to use. Stretch of games for Tottenham Hotspur. Welcome into Top the Perch. I am your host, as always, Nick Burt. Yeah. We weren't here on Saturday to recap the 2-0 loss to Fulham. That was a disaster and a half. This is a team in complete free fall right now, which somehow got off the mat today a little bit. They still looked putrid. Putrid is the best word to use today, feels like, because, this team still looked awful. Christian Romero dragged them off the mat to get them to a draw here. We'll get into the whole VAR ref situation and how it theoretically could have been 3 points, but things happen. So we weren't here Saturday to recap just an absolute disaster class of a performance that mostly hinges on Vicario. But the rest of the team is not doing a single thing right now. And that brings us to today, a midweek matchup in Newcastle, a place we have always had so much success, including this year in the Carabao Cup when we lost, 1-0, I think? 2-0? I don't even remember. But just a absolute brilliant place for Tottenham Hotspur to play. Leads us to getting a draw today. Again, we were kind of dragged kicking and screaming a little bit. First half, boy, oh boy, that first half was just bad. It was bad football all around, whether it be on the Newcastle side, whether it be on the Tottenham side. It was not a good watch. You really get no highlights out of it whatsoever. Vicario did make a few key saves, but past that, nothing much to report about. Second half, Newcastle come out flying on the attack. Vicario makes a major save, which then just gets thrown back into the box with, I believe it was ultimate for Newcastle that was basically waiting in the wings to put it in the back of the net. Sees his shot, ends up getting headed off the goal line by Kevin Donzo. Just incredible. Keep this game at 0-0. Again, just bad all around, kind of. A few good key defensive plays, but Newcastle by far and away were the dominant team in this one. Possession-wise, they were the one controlling possession. They were the ones that always felt like they're going to get the first goal and probably the second goal and maybe even the third goal. Newcastle dropped Pope over the weekend, I believe, and obviously Ramsdale is their backup. Is Ramsdale the greatest? Not really. Did we really take advantage of that today? No, we didn't really do that either. It's just this team lacks any kind of attacking prowess right now, it feels, and it's just whatever. It's lackadaisical. It doesn't make you want to watch. It is what it is at this point. You don't want to do another managerial change because we've done 50 of those, it feels like, in the past 5 years. But something has got to give eventually. And I don't know if that's now, if that's later. I don't know. 71st minute, Newcastle finds the back of the net. It's Bruno Guimaraes. with a shot from just inside the box, finds the bottom far post of the net, gives Newcastle the 1-0 lead. Of course, it's okay. There it is. Let's just get this over with. Let's fast forward 20 minutes. Let's get to the end of this game. Newcastle take the 3 points. Because, I mean, that's how it feels, especially when we're up in Newcastle. It's just basically let's get this over with. What's the point in any of this, basically? But we get to the 78th minute, cross into the box by Mohamed Kudus, finds Christian Romero, of all people, diving header, back of the net. Tottenham level it at 1-1. What Christian Romero is doing that high up, I have no idea. I'm not going to complain, though. Tottenham get it level again at 1-1. And all of a sudden, it's okay, maybe we escape with a point. Cool. We then get to the 82nd minute. Corner kick in the box. It's Rodrigo Bentancur and Dan Burn going at it. I don't really know what happens. They both get tangled together. I mean, Dan Burn has him kind of in a headlock, but everybody's complaining that it's a foul on Bentancur. So we go to VAR for about 4 minutes. This wasn't originally ruled a penalty. They go to VAR. We come back in the 84th minute. It's given as a penalty because why not? Saying it's a foul, obviously, on Bentancur, bringing down Dan Burn in the box. Penalty, whatever. Clearly the wrong call, but I'm not a ref. So Dan Burn clearly goes down on his own accord, but here we are anyways. It's Anthony Gordon that steps up in the 86th minute, puts it in the back of the net. It's 2-1 Newcastle. So there it goes again. Let's get this over with. They're going to take the 3 points. We get to the 94th minute. It's a corner kick sent into the box. It gets thrown around, punched out by Ramsdale, which flies basically to the middle of the box. Christian Romero, once again, is there. Bicycle kick, one of the slowest bicycle kicks, will I add, with the ball just kind of sputtering into the back of the net, is 2-2 Tottenham in the 5th minute of 9 minutes of stoppage time. Levels the game at 2-2. That's how this game ends. Tottenham take the point, but again, it is what it is. Feels like the most points we've taken from a game at St. James Park since, 2017. That it's truly what it feels like. But Tottenham get the 1 point, I should say. And it's better than no points. Let's get to the player ratings. We start up top. Ronald Kolo Mulani gets the start today. He gets a 6.9 rating. He wasn't really much to be found today. But, it's kind of what do you expect at this point? This team just has no attack, and I'm not putting that really on anybody right now. It's just kind of not getting the opportunity to attack because of the way this team's set up. So, yeah, that's great. So, it is what it is. Brennan Johnson, he gets a 6.8. He kind of falls into the same situation there. Wow. I just keep thinking about this attack it's just kind of non-existent. We struggle to do anything. Christian Romero scored our 2 goals today. Our captain right center defender should not be scoring our goals, but here we are. Yeah, it's kind of a disaster right now, but it is what it is. Lucas Bergvall gets a 7-4. I thought he did halfway decent in the midfield today. I know some people had problems with it, but again, it is what it is. I personally thought it was fine. It could have been a lot worse, but I thought he did well. I think he needs to be in the starting lineup more often. But that's just me. I'm not a tactician, so what does my opinion matter? It is what it is. Mohamed Kudus gets a 7-6. I thought he did well. This feels like his first start in a while. I think he started on Saturday versus Fulham. I honestly don't remember. I've tried to watch that game from my memory. But he gets the assist on the first Christian Romero goal. I thought he did pretty well, 7-6. Pop Sar gets a 7-1. Another player I think should be starting a lot more often. He gets a 7-1. I thought he did pretty decent in the midfield. But again, I'm not a tactician, so that's why he's not starting, because Thomas Frank sees something different. Rodrigo Bentancur, the worst of the midfielders today, 6-6. He got a yellow card. The penalty, he shouldn't have. I don't know. You kind of shouldn't be in that position, but obviously he was, and that makes everything kind of a mess. 6-6, didn't think he had the best of games today. Destiny Udogie, 6-5. Thought he did decent today. Would have liked to see what Spence would do, but he didn't do that well when we traveled up for the Carabao Cup. Kevin Donzo and Christian Romero both had very good games today as your central defenders. Kevin Donzo gets a 7-6, a few key goal line clearances. And then Christian Romero, a 9-2. He's going to be your man of the match. His 2 goals made sure Tottenham at least came away with a point in this one. And Pedro Porro gets a 7-4 with Vicario. Major bounce back game, 7-4, even though the first goal, both goals he didn't really have much he could do. I know the penalty, it is what it is, but I've never seen Vicario save a penalty before in my life. So you kind of got to deal with it. Xavi Simons, Matthijs Tel, and Richarlison all came on in the 77th minute, and that was for Kolo Muani, Brennan Johnson, Lucas Bergvall. Xavi Simons gets a 6-1. Tel gets a 6-2. Richarlison a 6-1. And then the 87th minute, Archie Gray and Wilson Odegaard came on for Mohamed Kudus and Pop Sar. So they come on too late to get a grade. They get nothing. So up next for Tottenham Hotspur, it is Brentford on Saturday at home. A house of horrors for Tottenham Hotspur, it seems, because we can't seem to win at home at any point. Whatever. That's not how football should work, but Tottenham very much struggling to get wins at home right now. So expect a loss here to a team that is right below us in the table right now, sitting in 12th, and they haven't played their game this match week yet. So good job, guys. That is going to wrap it up for this episode of Top the Perch. Like I said, next match is going to be on Saturday versus Brentford. But before that, we will be back, not for Top the Perch, but a old reoccurring show here on the Nick Bird Sports Network. Quick Kick Around the Pitch comes out every 2 years for the World Cup and for the Euros and Copa America. We will be back on Friday. World Cup group stage draw. We will recap everything that happens in Washington, D.C., break down all 12 groups. I know some of them are going to have, interconfederation playoff winners and UEFA playoff winners, so we're not going to really know the full groups until March. We'll figure it out then. So we will be back on Friday, at least for another soccer episode here. We will be back on Saturday for another episode of Top of the Perch. So thank you so much for watching. If you just stumbled across this, click like, click subscribe, tell anybody you know about it. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon for another episode of Top of the Perch.